think we can all agree that Christmas is a magical time of year. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Unless of course you live in Australia, in which case all that shit is completely irrelevant, and there comes a point where being winterlicious and talking about jumpers and hot chocolate just feels like a bit of a slap in the face. So I saw a gap in the market and decided to fill it. Here is my Australian Christmas tag. Question number 1. What element of Northern Hemisphere Christmas do you resent the most? The fact that it's cold. I resent that with all of my heart and soul. Question number 2. Who in your family gets the most drunk, and how does this affect the day as a whole? It's probably me, however, I could see my stepmom and I both just secretly getting drunk if we had to spend too much time around like an extended group of people. Probably makes it slightly more enjoyable for me. And also probably more enjoyable for everyone else because I'm more placid and I just kind of sit there rather than stomping around and trying to make everyone pay attention to me. Question number 3. There's a new Australian reindeer. Name the cheeky bastard. For this one I have 3 options and they all come from the deepest, darkest, most bogan pit of my soul. These options are Chopper, Bundy, and Dickhead. Chopper is for Chopper Read, who, if you're not aware, was an Australian gangland criminal. But it's also just a cool name for a reindeer. Bundy is short for Bundaberg, which is a beverage company most well known for their rum. They have good ads, they're very Australian, and there's a polar bear in them. Polar bears are Christmassy, plus I feel like if there were to be an Australian reindeer, to have it named after an alcoholic beverage would only be appropriate. And third, Dickhead, because the most natural of ways to address somebody when you're in a rush is "Oi dickhead." Not as kid-friendly, but I feel like all of them have enough rhyming possibilities to fit into the bedtime stories quite nicely. Question number 4. Do you embrace the heat or try and trick yourself into thinking it's winter? I will try and create as cozy of an atmosphere as I can for every day in the Christmas season, but on actual Christmas Day I tend to embrace Australian summer and just like wear shorts and a t-shirt and drink. I was trying to think of a cold beverage there. I wasn't just saying I would embrace the summer by drinking, but that is also a truth. Number 5. Make up a fake Australian tradition to trick the foreigners into thinking we're having a much better time celebrating our 43-degree Yuletide. There's a little sum-sum we like to call the Boxing Day bushfire blowout, wherein we utilize our nation's greatest natural curse by taking all the presents we think are shit out on Boxing Day and throwing them into a bushfire. Now, this not only is great for saving space and preventing hoarding of presents that you don't really want, but it also finds a way to harness the mindless destruction of bushfire season in a festive way. Number 6, what's your favorite part of Wiggly Wiggly Christmas? I'm extremely fond of the bit where they all sit around and sing "Unto Us This Holy Night." I really liked that song as a child, but the bit for me that really signals this is Wiggly Wiggly Christmas, it's really happening, it's on, is "Go Santa Go." You know you've got such a long way to go. Number 7. Santa is Australian. Present one argument for and against, excluding the fact that he's apparently from the North Pole, because that could just be a cover-up. In my heart, the clearest argument for the fact that Santa is Australian lies in what people leave out for him on Christmas Eve. People leave out carrots as fuel for the reindeer, and for Santa, people leave out whiskey. Now, if needing a stiff drink to get through your one day of work a year doesn't scream Australian to you, I don't know what does. And I know that some people leave out milk and cookies as a more PG option, to which I will say, we have a very strong dairy industry in this country. Argument against Santa being Australian. I don't really see an Australian doing that much work and not wanting to take credit for it. You know when Jackman's around. You know when the Hemsworths are afoot. Santa, not so much. Not so much. Number 8. If Santa were Australian, what animal do you think would pull his sleigh? excluding kangaroos, because we've had quite enough of that with 6 white boomers. I don't think that Australian Santa would have a sleigh. I picture badass Australian Santa straight just sitting on a cassowary. And if you don't know what a cassowary is, it's like a terrifying emu. It's like if you took an emu, extracted its soul, and just put fury in there, and then some blue bits. But it would have flight, because of Santa. Now, I didn't think it would really be in the Australian spirit for me to complete this tag by myself. Plus, despite having lived here the majority of my life, my accent does sound quite American. So, to lend some authenticity to the piece, and to bring in the sense of mateship, I thought I would pass the last 5 questions over to some of my favourite Australian YouTubers / BFFs. Lego.
My question is, what is your least favourite part about the Christmas roast koala dinner?
My least favorite part is hard to think of because I am very picky. One thing I just will never go near is the crackling. Crackling is basically like the crispy cut-off bits of the meat. Usually it's like from a tail, so it'll be from a snake or from a crocodile, from the tail meat. And like everybody loves it because it's so crispy and like it's kind of like deep fried, but I just will not go near the crackling whatsoever. I'm not super into eating snake and crocodile. And also yams. I'm not gonna eat yams.
On a scale of 1 to Corey Worthington, how drunk have you gotten at a low-key family Christmas gathering, and was your grandma A, disappointed, B, impressed, C, too drunk to care, or D, dead, and probably having a coldie in the grave? That'll do.
Disappointingly, I don't think I've ever been properly drunk at Christmas with my family. The most drunk that I've ever been in my life is a tie between when I went out with the Balinese royal family in February and Family Easter 2011. However, that wasn't with my family, so I don't know how my grandparents would have reacted to that. If I were to get drunk on Christmas, I don't think my granny, who's my dad's mom, would be amused at all. I don't think she would appreciate that. However, my grandma, who is my mom's mom, I think she would have a good old chuckle at it. I think she would see the humor in me getting inordinately pissed at a very low-key family event.
How do you feel about the ridiculous number of Christmas carols which are completely about snow and winter and hot chocolate by the fire, all of which are completely inappropriate and unfitting for a Christmas in summer?
I love and resent them in equal measure, except for the ones that talk about cold weather negatively. If you are complaining about snow, I want to punch you in the throat.
This is truly an honour. Thank you, Mazzles. I can't believe I've dreamed about this moment for so long. It's here. It's finally here. It's wow. Alright, and we'll do this quickly. Get this over quickly. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just stupid. I'm sorry. I'm so stupid. Okay. What Australian variation of a traditional Christmas song makes you cringe the most? Yes, I did it. That's it. Okay, again, this is such an honour.
Dashing through the bush in a rusty Holden ute, kicking up the dust, Esky in the boot, Kelpie by my side, singing Christmas songs. It's summertime and I am in my singlet, shorts and thongs. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Christmas in Australia on a scorching summer's day. Hey, jingle bells, Christmas time is beaut. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a rusty Holden ute.
How did you find out that Santa isn't real? Is it A, because you didn't understand how Santa could fit down a chimney when you already had nets fitted to deter urban drop bears? B, because drunk Uncle Graham and Santa were never in the same room together? Or C, because that time the air conditioning broke on a 44-degree Christmas day, you lost faith not only in anything revolving around the Christmas spirit, but also in life itself?
Fun fact, I forgot to record my answer to this question yesterday, so I'm doing it now. My answer anyway is very disappointing. It is none of the above, because when I realized Santa wasn't real, which was not a traumatic event, so I don't remember it at all, I would have been living in America. So I've let the team down. I'm very sorry. So there you have it, the Australian Christmas tag. I'm gonna tag the people who came up with questions for this video, as well as anyone who lives in the Southern Hemisphere, or anyone who doesn't live in the Southern Hemisphere and is feeling particularly sassy. So I found, God damn it, Madeline! I didn't sleep last night.